A perfect family. A loving husband, a devoted father. But behind closed doors, he was hiding a deadly secret. In August 2018, Chris Watts shocked the entire world when he murdered his pregnant wife and 2 little daughters. Now, for the first time, he speaks about why he did it. This is the chilling truth behind the Watts family murders. Asterisk. This is the story of a man who deceived everyone. His friends, his neighbors, even his own family. On the outside, he seemed like a loving husband and a caring father. But inside, he was hiding a darkness that would one day destroy everything. Chris Watts, an ordinary man from Colorado. He lived with his beautiful wife, Sean-Ann, and their 2 little daughters, Bella and Celeste. To the world, they were the perfect family. Smiling faces in family photos, vacations, laughter. Every picture told a story of love and happiness. But behind closed doors, the truth was very different. In the summer of 2018, Sean-Ann noticed something had changed in Chris. He stayed out late, whispered on his phone, and seemed distant from his family. Sean-Ann, who was pregnant at the time, grew suspicious. And then, she found out the truth. Chris was having an affair with a coworker, Nicole Kessinger. For Sean-Ann, it was a crushing betrayal. She confronted Chris and told him, "If you don't end this, you will never see your children again." Those words echoed in Chris's mind. He was standing at a crossroads, torn between his family and the life he thought he wanted. On the morning of August 13, 2018, Sean-Ann returned home from a late-night trip. Chris was already awake. He started talking to her. The conversation turned into an argument. And the argument into a fight. Sean-Ann, fighting for her marriage, had no idea these would be the final moments of her life. In a sudden, uncontrollable burst of rage, Chris wrapped his hands around Sean-Ann's neck and squeezed until she stopped breathing. Her body went limp and she was gone. But the horror didn't end there. After killing Sean-Ann, Chris's daughters, Bella and Celeste, woke up. Little Celeste didn't understand what had happened. But Bella, she knew, something was very, very wrong. With fear in her eyes, she asked her daddy, "Is Mommy okay?" Chris knew that if they told anyone, everything would be over. So, one by one, he took their little lives. Bella's final word, before the darkness took her, was a heartbreaking no. With his wife and daughters dead, Chris loaded their bodies into his truck and drove to a remote oil field where he worked. He dug a shallow grave for Sean-Ann. And then, in an act of cold calculation, dropped Bella and Celeste's tiny bodies into separate oil tanks. Every step planned. Every movement deliberate. Every action unforgivable. Afterwards, Chris went to work as if nothing had happened. When police and neighbors asked, he pretended to be worried. Standing in front of news cameras, he said, "Sean-Ann, if you're out there, please come home." But the truth could not stay hidden. Investigators grew suspicious. Chris failed a polygraph test, miserably. And finally, under pressure, he confessed. 5 hours of questioning, and the mask fell away. He admitted he had killed Sean-Ann, Bella, and Celeste with his own hands. On November 6, 2018, Chris Watts was sentenced to 5 life terms, without the possibility of parole. Today, he sits in a maximum security prison in Wisconsin. He claims he prays for his family, and that he regrets everything. But to the world, he will forever be remembered as the father who murdered his own family. This story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most dangerous person is the one who seems the most ordinary, the most loving, and the most harmless.